welcome to my channel where I share my world and beyond while learning why Sarah is Sarah is Sarah. Today we're going to be talking about something that is very near and dear to my heart and a huge part of my identity, Chinese home cooking. So we're talking basics today. We're talking about sauces, spices. You too can make yourself a pretty good Chinese meal at home and you don't have to go outside, so you can still stay at home. I'm not super professional or anything, but just letting you know that this is what I use to make my food taste good. All right, let's get started. All right, so I've assembled my main peoples. So we have Sauce Squad, Spice Squad. Sauce Squad, say that 5 times fast. Sauce Squad, oh. Hold on, I'm not saying you need to go invest into all these sauces and spices, but it would be, really great if you did. I'm just gonna give like different tiers, so like groupings. So super minimal, basics of Chinese food that you just need to absolutely have in your house. Soy sauce and sugar. Super quad, since it's 4 ingredients, so super quad equals squad. Sesame oil, sugar, soy sauce, and starch. If you really want to go you want to have the full offering, then you need to go to the expanded. So it includes soy sauce, black vinegar, sesame oil, sugar, rice wine, cornstarch, and then some other spices like star anise, red chili, Chinese 5-spice, Sichuan peppercorn. Yes, fully loaded, ready to go. First up, we are going to talk about soy sauce. Now, when I talk about soy sauce, I mean light soy sauce. And yes, as you've seen in my videos, we use an old Barefoot wine bottle to hold our soy sauce now. How did it come about? It was actually a way of spreading salt out to last longer. Since salt was really, really valuable back then, without refrigeration, it was a way to preserve as well as to add flavor. However, people wanted to figure out a way of cooking dishes without having to use as much salt each time, so being able to ferment. Whereas back then, before they used soybeans, they used meat, vegetables, or fish to flavor the soy sauce. It would save them on salt. They started using soybeans because it was much easier to grow, and I also mentioned that there are 2 kinds of soy sauces. Dark soy sauce. Dark soy sauce is actually used to add more color, so it's not really as salty as the light soy sauce is. It makes your food more appealing. And you can also, my family and I, we buy this in bulk, so it's so much cheaper at the end. And yep, we like this brand. Ooh, a note about soy sauce. The key to adding soy sauce is near the end of the dish, or if you know you're going to put the dish on a simmer on lower or medium heat, because soy sauce caramelizes, which is great, but it can also burn way too fast. So our next ingredient on the list is rice wine, or also called Shaoxing wine. By legend, in China, there is this inventor of all Chinese alcohol, and his name is Heita. So this is made by fermenting rice and water together, and in Chinese cuisine, it's considered a yellow wine, so it's very mellow, and it's not too sweet. Adds a lot of flavor to meat. So it's very similar to if you add beer to some kind of batter or to some kind of stew. It's very similar to that. All right, next up is black vinegar. Black vinegar is made using water, glutinous rice, wheat bran, sugar, and salt. I think this is one of my most favorite sauces that a lot of people don't really know about if you're not very familiar with Chinese cooking. How would I describe this flavor? So it is kind of similar to balsamic vinegar. It's less sweet than balsamic vinegar, but it's sweeter than, I would say, white vinegar. I use it in a lot of dipping sauces, or sometimes you can add just a splash of it to a bowl of noodles or soup. So it adds acidity, and I love acidity because in a lot of different dishes it can cut through the fat or it can cut through saltiness, and also complements it as well and deepens the flavor. I'm all about deepening and making flavors more complex. Sugar. Cornstarch is an ingredient that helps make a lot of that brown sauce that you see. It thickens sauces and gravies. Sesame oil. Oh boy, we love this guy. Sesame oil is super fragrant. You just need a little bit of it to just basically, oh my gosh, it makes me think of Kung Fu Panda. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Kung Fu Panda 1, it's a really great animated movie. So at the end where Po takes his finger and he lifts it up and does the ultimate power move, and then that whole bing just kind of demolishes his enemy. Yeah, That's exactly what sesame oil does. You just need a little bit of it. It just flavors the entire dish. And if you're going to stir fry it, same thing as the soy sauce, except I would probably add the sesame oil right at the end when you're pretty much like you turn off the heat. It also has a very low burning point, so it burns very easily. So that's it for our sauces. All right, let's talk spices because we're spicy. So if you've seen my mapo tofu video, which I'll put right here, go and watch. I've actually used a lot of spices that I'm going to introduce here. So for instance, red chili, dried red chili. It can be used to make red chili oil, you know, kind of just like fry a bunch of these in some oil and then it flavors the oil and kind of makes it spicy. You could also put it in lots of soups or stir fries. Also in my mapo tofu, used peppercorns before. So this is what makes the spicy numbing flavor, which is mala. It kind of makes your tongue tingle, and in a good way. Just like sesame oil, this is very potent and you should adjust it to your level of how little do you want to feel your tongue, because it makes your tongue really numb. No, these are not peanuts. In my house, we reuse containers for everything. So you know those Danish cookies? Yes, that box is most definitely our sewing kit. Yes. Except for Christmas, when there's a 50-50% chance that it could be those Danish cookies. We use this container to hold star anise. It makes me think of the same family as like cloves. It's like very sweet smelling, but it also just adds like this kind of, it adds a spice to your life. And then last but not least, I have Chinese 5 spice. You just got all 5 spices in your life. You know, combined with all these kind of spices and sauces, you can kind of mix and match your way to the ultimate Chinese cuisine at home. What I love about home cooking is that you can customize to however you want to. You know how things are cooked. You basically just have a lot of control over everything. And I just think it's a lot of fun. It's really satisfying to be able to kind of go through everything and then at the end sit down with a really good meal that you can either share with yourself or with your friends or family, and just like be proud that you did that. Let me know what you guys think you would like to try, or what is a spice that you have never heard about that I talked about here.
He's living in a dream. He doesn't seem to stray far from today. There is nothing to have seen as we live today in so many ways. Now there are men who take a different route, put on a tie and suit each day, but he don't care about their ways. He simply wants to blaze the day away. He's smoking in his pipe. He doesn't call his man or make a plan. He says he's working on his craft. He doesn't know how long this jig can last.
I swear I'm never gonna get used to eating on camera. Yes. Sauce is life. spices life. So thank you for stopping by this week's food episode of Sarah is Sarah is Sarah. And I hope you guys learned something about some basic Chinese ingredients that you can use to make your own Chinese food at home. And I actually learned a lot about these sauces that I grew up with and never just thought about where or when, how they got here. And I hope you guys keep watching, subscribe, like, comment below, tell me what your favorite sauce is, and I would love to know what kind of other foods and other recipes that you'd like to see me make. All right, bye guys.
嗨，这是 what attention？
So